This question comes to us from Simon Hill in Lindenberg, I think it's Denmark. Great. Again, this is, for me, it's so much fun to connect with people all over the world and to be able to have this information and be able to contact people and have them contact me and hopefully help them out with their games. It's just incredible. So thanks for your commitment to the site. Thanks for your question. So Simon's question is, what do I think of tour tempo? Now, if you don't know what that is, there's a company that devised a program and an actual machine. It's called Tour Tempo, which it judges or measures your tempo. And what they found is, as they looked at tour players, and again we're talking an average, that if you're taking video at 32 frames a second, on the backswing, if your backswing takes 21 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 21 frames, then back to the ball takes 7 on most players. So whatever your backswing is, your downswing is a 3-to-1 ratio. Now that's not everybody, but they found that there were a number of tour players, a lot of them, that fell into that. Well, okay, here's my deal with that particular thing. I don't fall into it. I'm more of a 4-to-1 ratio. So I'm a lot smoother tempo. My backswing isn't as fast as they would like, my downswing. So every time when I started to work with them, they'd say, well, your backswing's too slow, so you got to speed this up and speed this up. And then, okay, fine. And all of a sudden, I'd have it right on. The problem is, it felt terrible to me. The ball's going sideways. So there's a lot of good in all of this information about, as an average, here's what guys are doing. But anytime you do averages, that basically means that really not everybody does it. Especially, this isn't as bad, but there's other things when they talk about tour averages relative to, how much their shoulders turn to their hips and where their weight. Okay, what the tour average means is that it's an average. That means no one does it. It's an average, which I find really interesting. So we're going to try to get everybody to do an average that not even any tour players do, because it's an average. When it comes to tempo, here's what you should do. Everybody has a DNA for motion or hit. We all do. So the question is, how do you find what your best tempo is? Now, what I can use that tour tempo machine for is I find my tempo where I'm hitting the ball the best, and then I try to match it. And then I take it out on the golf course and see what happens to my tempo on the course. I don't try to readjust who I am to it. Now, for some people it might work. But you got to be careful, because we all have a DNA for motion and we all have a DNA timing for hit. We go back and hit something. Now, we've talked about it on the site where I build my tempo with my putter. So I start and I just set up and I just go 1, 2, and I just find to hit a putt, what's the tempo I'm the most comfortable with. And once I find it with my putter, which it's about 1, 2, then when I chip, 1, 2, when I pitch, 1, 2, when I hit my driver, 1, 2. So the tempo's the same, the club travels in a bigger arc. What most of you should do, go out and find your favorite club that you hit the best. Then have somebody, or you yourself, take a metronome or whatever, or you can get the tour tempo stuff, and figure out when you're hitting it your best, what is your tempo? And then you try to duplicate it. And then you go out on the course and you focus on tempo. That's what all the best players do in the world when they're playing. They're masters at maintaining their tempo under pressure. Why? Tempo is the pace. Rhythm is the sequence. Timing is what holds all that together. So if your tempo changes, your sequence changes, which is your rhythm, which also means your timing has to change. Nobody's good enough to have it going all over the map. So I like things that measure tempo. I don't necessarily agree with everybody should have the same. There are parameters. There's guys on tour out of that 3-to-1 that are on this side. They're much slower and much faster. Now, the majority kind of fall in this area. But if you took this guy and this guy that are superstars on tour and you said, we got to make your tempo better, you wouldn't make them better, you'd make them worse. So you got to be really careful anytime you try to turn yourself into somebody else. Okay, that's where this game starts to fall apart. Everybody's trying to be somebody they're not. I even see it with really good players I work with. I wish I swung like so-and-so. What? What? First of all, you're not so-and-so, so forget it. You got to swing like you. You have to develop your swing, your motion, your control, your understanding. It's not about everybody else. They don't matter. It's about you. So it's a nice product, but just be careful how you use it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for regular updates and tips. Thanks for watching.